Good morning everyone, today we're going to be talking about the new standing quest LaCille exploration and all of the puzzles involved in that quest. But before we jump into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So the very first thing I want to explain is how to read the map. You're going to notice over here that there's a bunch of different numbers on each tile over here, and each number corresponds to the player ability buff. So for example, if you clear the number 1s, that's going to increase the sidestep counter potency by 1 level. And the higher this is, the more damage you're going to do whenever you sidestep. This is incredibly important when you get to the last boss, but basically what you want to do is you want to clear as many of these as quickly as possible in order to get as many buffs as possible so that it makes the boss fight at the very end much easier and much smoother. Now do keep in mind there is a time limit for you to gather all of these buffs. Once this timer runs out, you automatically get teleported into the boss room. So what I'm going to show you guys right now is how to solve each of the puzzles. Alright, so the first puzzle is the one with the lake in the middle, and what you want to do is you want to look around the map, and what you want to do is you want to count these numbers. You can see over here that this purple color or this pink color is 3, you can see the green over here is 5, you can see over here there's 4 red, and there's 1 blue. And there's another one, there's a gray one that's on this mountain over here. So what you want to do is you want to step on the corresponding numbers from 1 to 5. So as we're going to see over here, the first one we saw was the blue one. So we're going to step on blue. And then we saw the gray. And then we saw the purple. I messed up. You see, if you mess up, it resets the entire thing and you have to redo it. So again, I'm going to go to blue, gray, and then purple, and then red, and then green. And once that is done, you need to break these canisters. If you solve the puzzle and just run away without breaking this, you do not actually get the buff. You can see over here, I completed it and completed the ability buff condition in this sector, and we got the buff. Now for the second puzzle over here is relatively simple. As you can see right here, ability buff condition, press 3 pull switches. If you miss this pop-up sign, don't worry, you can actually see it right here. Every time you go into a new sector or a new quadrant of the map over here, you're going to see the ability buff condition is going to change right here, which will tell you what the objective is in that specific room. So this one is relatively simple. All you need to do is find all 3 of these poles, you activate them, and then they'll spawn a boss. So you can see that I activated pole number 1, pole number 2 is over here, and then pole number 3 is all the way at the top. So we're just going to fast forward here. And once we get to the third one, you're going to see there's a purple force field around it because it's going to spawn enemies. So we need to kill all the enemies before the force field goes down. And there we go. We killed all the enemies and then we activated the switch and again, completed the ability buff condition for this sector. So it'll become acquired over here. And you'll also see on the map, the number has disappeared because we did get the number 2 buff, which was HP recovery on successful sidestep. Now the third puzzle over here has a glass cage in the middle and there's going to be a bunch of animals in it. And what we want to do is we want to climb up to the platform. And once we come up over here, you're going to notice that there are 2 panels on the right and on the left. So on the right one, you can see there's a number 4 and on the left side, there's a number 3. So what we want to do is we want to count the animals inside the glass cage and see which one adds up to 3. And that will determine on which panel that we actually step on this side. And on the other side, we need to count whichever has 4 animals and we step on that. So you're going to see over here, I'm going to look down at the animals and you're going to notice that there are 4 birds and there are 3 seals. So you're going to notice over here, I'm going to head over to the birds because this one was 4, and then I'm going to head over to the seals over here because there are 3 seals, and voila, we completed this puzzle. Very easy. Now there is another variant of this puzzle over here where there's only 4 options, but it's the same idea. You look at the number that is written on the wall and then you count the animals and that will determine which panel you step on. And last but not least is this puzzle over here. What you're going to do is you need to look at this map over here and press the buttons corresponding to what it wants over here. So you're going to see there's a white dot over here and there's a white dot on the wall. So what we want to do is we want to turn these 2 into green. So you're going to see right in front of me that there's 2 panels, or this panel and this panel is going to turn into green by stepping over it. Then we move on to the next row over here. So we just finished this row, we move to the next row and we can see that the very last one or the very bottom one is green. So we're simply going to step on the very bottom one, as we can see right here, turn that green. All right, let's look at the next row. This one, the second one is green. So we're going to step on the second one, boom. And then last but not least, we're going to step on these and turn these all into green, and boom, the puzzle is complete. Again, do not forget to break the green boxes over here, because if you don't break them, well, you don't complete the actual quest. So as you can see over here, boom, completed the ability buff condition in the sector, and it is acquired. So these puzzles are very, very good in order to get a lot of buffs extremely quickly because they don't take very long to complete. And once the timer runs out, you're automatically going to be teleported into the boss room where you have exactly 3 minutes to kill the altered Isuka Bujin. But what I want you to pay attention to is all of the different buffs we have over here. The main one that you want to prioritize is sidestep counter potency up level 5 because this will give you a lot of damage. What I want you to do is pay attention to the DPS meter on the top right corner over here. You're going to see that I'm just going to be sidestepping all of his attacks and hitting him over and over and over. You can see that my DPS is at 8,000 right now, which is incredibly high. Normally my DPS is nowhere near that much. Now it's going to be a little bit more normal as you know, the fight goes on. That 8,000 was pretty much a burst. So as we can see over here, my damage is hovering on average around 6,000, which is significantly higher than what my damage normally is. So my damage on average without all of these buffs hover around 3,000 damage. It's not incredibly high. If you're built fully glass cannon with about 150% potency, you should be hovering around 4,000 to 5,000 DPS on average. But nevertheless, if you just take advantage of these buffs over here, you can deal significantly more damage because, well, your sidesteps just hit really hard. But with that being said, I will have a dedicated guide for the LaCiel exploration, which will come at a later date, probably tomorrow or the day after. I just wanted to get all of the puzzle solutions out of the way immediately so that you guys can have a much smoother run, because you definitely need a lot of those buffs in order to kill the Isuka Bujin smoothly. However, don't worry, it does scale to the number of players, so if you're not having any luck playing with randoms or playing with pugs, you could always just solo it or play with 1 or 2 friends, and it does scale down to the number of players, so you can still enjoy that game mode even if you have no friends. Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again. But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye!